How's it going, everybody, and welcome back. This is Wake Run Collapse, and today I'm going to show you the true Champion Road set. Now, you might be wondering, I just watched an entire booster case on Wake Run Collapse's channel, 360 booster packs of Champion Road. I know what the Champion Road set is. Well, as you may know, a lot of these cards were inspired or reprinted from other expansions. And today, I'm going to show you what that set would have looked like if they just took the cards out of the old sets and decided to cobble them all together and say, this is our new set. Which, as it turns out, they did. So it's a 66 card set, not including the full arts, which have been added in and changed and stuff. And obviously the GXs have been updated because GXs were not a thing back in the day. But as it turns out, I have 64 of the 66 cards currently in my collection. So we're going to go through them and show you all 64 cards as they already existed in Japan at the time that this was printed. So here's your Bellsprout to start things off. There's a Weepinbell and a Victreebel holo. This time it was a holo. If you're wondering why these cards look so funny, well, that's because you're looking at cards from the E-Series. I think this is from E-Series 3. Yep, the Town on No Map. Here's a Scyther. This one's from Golden Sky, Silvery Ocean. And no, I'm not going to read off all the set names. This one is a Spinarak. And then Ariados. Turns out that Ariados from Champion Road wasn't the first time it was a holo. The first time it was printed, it was also a holo, and now they just decided to keep it. Here we've got a Cacnea. And then a Cacturn. Yep, so as it turns out, all the cards have inspirations from second and third generation. Whether they're exact reprints or approximated reprints, they're reprints. So you got the Slugma, and then Magcargo. The two cards I didn't have are Torchic and Combusken. So they're not going to be appearing in this video. You can see that the next card is Blaziken. So the reason they don't appear is because they were part of a Torchic constructed starter deck or something silly like this. A lot of the cards actually appeared in weird decks like that instead of the original Japanese set. But I was able to track down everything but those two cards. It's very difficult to go through your entire collection looking for a Torchic and a Combusken that you're pretty sure you don't have, and then to get through it and find out that you were actually right in the first place. Next card is going to be Articuno EX. This is definitely not the style of EX card or GX card that we would see in later generations, but I think it's fantastic. Here we have a Totodile. Oddly enough, this Totodile is from Neo Genesis, but the Croconaw and Feraligatr that follow were from the premium file from Neo. This is not from the actual set. You would find different artwork there. And there's your Feraligatr right there. Next we've got Lotad, Lombre, and Ludicolo. Starting to see a pattern here, aren't you? Now we have Voltorb and Electrode EX. Next up is going to be Chinchou, and then Lantern. Next card is going to be another EX, became a GX, this Mr. Mime EX. And yes, he's facing the correct way, and you can actually see, if you zoom in on the card, just how reprinted it is. 20, 40, 60, 80, etc. damage done to this Pokemon gets nullified. They weren't kidding when they said reprinted. Artwork looking similar, this Gulpin just became Poison type. Same thing with a Swalot. It's listed as Grass type because that's how they originally made the card. Next up we have a Lunatone, also holographic, and a Solrock, which was not holographic. And these were in different sets in Japan. How strange is that? Next up is Shuppet. This Shuppet card was very, very difficult to find, but I did find it. So encouragement points for me. Then we have Banette EX, which was not even holographic when it was originally printed. Here we've got an Onyx going way back into the Neo sets again. Here's a Phampi. And a Donphan. That is the first half of the set. 32 cards. So, moving on. We've got Larvitar. I'll move a little closer, I think. Pupitar. And then a Sneasel shows up because of the switch to Dark type. And then we've got Tyranitar. And its holographic goodness. And you know what? Just for a quick second, I'm going to dive into a sale that's going to be happening soon. And find me a holographic Tyranitar. It turns out that wasn't too hard to do. And we're going to show you the comparison. So obviously the attack has been updated to reflect what is currently going on, and the hit points have been reflected again, more of a modern feel to it. But even the attack requirements are the same. The artwork is 95% the same. There are very slight differences in the design of the card and the coloring and such, but it is the original card. And actually, if you look on there too, you can see that the artist, Hironobu Yoshida, is still credited from the original card. So I suppose if you're going to do something along those lines, you better credit the right artist. I've not gone through and made sure that they're all correct, but I'm sure somebody is looking into it. Here's our Sableye, Steelix. There's a Scizor EX, a Mawile right here, a couple more real buggers to find. This is Bagon and Shelgon. Now, of course, Dragon type did not exist back then, so these were colorless type cards, but these are from like a Salamence EX deck, which were very, very hard to find. And of course, the Salamence EX is not from that deck. This one is from Deoxys of the Torn Sky. It was such a pain in the ass to get these cards out. Now, if you're wondering specifically as we look at the Kangaskhan, what a particular card is from or sourced from, PokeBeach did a really nice write-up when they were showing all the different scans from the Champion Road cards, but they apply to English versions, as we see at Dunsparce here. They apply to the English version of the card. So I needed to take that, and then I had to look at the Japanese equivalent set, and if it wasn't there, I had to find out where the heck it came from. So here's the colorless Ho-Oh card, again non-holographic. This one's from the Neo Premium File 3. Then we've got Slakoth, Vigoroth, and Slacking. I don't think he's moved since this card was printed. And we're going to rifle through the trainer cards as well very quickly because their artwork is the same as well. Energy Recycle System, Energy Switch, Super Scoop Up, Rare Candy, Life Herb, Friend Ball, Pokénav, Switch, Lure Ball, Underground Expedition, TV Reporter, Apricorn Maker, Bill's Maintenance, Copycat, and lastly, Rainbow Energy. So if anybody has the ear of the Pokemon Company in Japan and wants to pass along a special message from me, tell them thank you for the 2 new cards that I got when the set came out. Thank you for the Torchic and for the Combusken. Of course, there's a lot more to it than that. We have different, updated card styles. We get new GXs that look great. We get full arts. We get hyper rares. We get ultra rares. All this good stuff. But as it turns out, before Champion Road ever existed, I already had like 97% of the set with me. Anyways, thanks for watching. This video took a couple of hours to find the cards for, so if you appreciate that kind of stuff, hit that like button down below. and let me know if your perception of Champion Road has changed at all based on this video that you have just seen. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse, I have no idea how you're feeling about it, and that's what the comment section is down there for. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.